Hello, everyone. Yes, we are a little late today, but we were having some technical issues, and I believe it's due to the weather. So we had to go old school today. But I'm waiting for Allison to come on before we get started. But while I'm waiting for her, I just want to talk to my replay audience real quick. If for some reason you catch this on the replay, make sure you comment your name and where you're watching from below so that I can go back later and thank you for watching. Allison, did you get the invite? Because you know, Facebook be on some other stuff sometimes. Let me know. Let me send the invite that way. So yeah, while I'm waiting for Allison, my name is Ruby D. I am the Goddess Entrepreneur and the Soul Speaker. And of course, it's Soul Sunday with me and Allison. Every Sunday since November of last year, Allison and I have been going live weekly and discussing topics that are not specifically or often discussed in general, that are not popular, but Allison and I, we go live every week to discuss these particular topics because they are interesting and they need to be discussed. And Allison and I are both advocates for self-love.
Hi.
This is girl, this old school thing. Do throwback today. But here we are. But I was just giving everybody a little bit of background of what Soul Sunday is. So pretty much with us discussing these topics and me and Allison being advocates for self, we like to end our week on a high note in order to begin the next week on an even higher note.
Right.
So first, let me thank everybody for watching. Hey, Tracy, big homie Sean, CG.
What's up, Tate?
Taya, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry. Damon and Tate, thank you all for watching. If you feel that anything that we say is beneficial for you or may be beneficial for anybody else, please be sure to share the video. And no, I'm not about to cry. I don't know what you're talking about. But is that somebody that I need to block? Probably so. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I don't know who that is. But what was I finna say? But anyway, this week's topic for Soul Sunday. Tell you, I've been getting that from everybody. So if y'all want to call this with this hairstyle, the Wakanda hairstyle, I'll take it. But no, I like it, and it works. But this week's topic for Soul Sunday is about the business chakra system and its connection to mental wellness. Last week, Allison and I discussed the personal chakra system and its connection to mental wellness. So, I'm Ruby D, the Goddess Entrepreneur and the Soul Speaker. I am the author of the Goddess Grind series, which is a series that I'm writing that's focused on basically balancing chakras and becoming the best version of you in order to manifest success personally and professionally. In addition to being an author, I also own a few businesses. I'm a chakra expert. I like discussing mental wellness, and I'm an advocate for self. So I'm going to go ahead and let Allison introduce herself.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Allison. I represent Be Still and Move, a child company of the HGL Group, and we're designed to help you heal, grow, and live beyond that relationship status by becoming better, not bitter, and enjoying your life along the journey. I am a teacher, a speaker, a budding author, a vlogger, a blogger. I give relationship real talk. I don't pull any punches, but I do it all in love for my brothers and my sisters. And so I'm glad to be here today.
Yes. And hey, Imran. Hey, James.
What's up, Dre? What's up, Will?
Hey, thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it, even though we had to go old school today. But it's okay. The weather's not the best here. I'm not sure how it is where Allison is, but we were having some connection issues.
Yeah.
But to go ahead and get started on our topic for today, of course, for those that follow me know that I've been talking a lot about mental wellness. And mental wellness basically encompasses everything from being mentally well or being mentally healthy, all the way to mental illness, illnesses such as depression, stress, anxiety, etc. And of course, the reason I started talking more or speaking more on this particular topic is because, of course, I've had to deal with it. Allison has dealt with it in her way. And then, of course, we all know people that we talk to every day. It may even be ourselves, but people that we deal with on a regular basis that's experiencing some degree of mental wellness, whether it's being mentally healthy, unhealthy, or they've been diagnosed with a mental illness. But for one, I feel we don't discuss it enough, so that's why we started having these conversations. And two, I think a lot of times people feel that because they haven't been clinically diagnosed as being mentally ill, that they are not affected to any degree when it comes to any type of mental or emotional issue.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, we've done so many of these videos. We've touched on mental and emotional and spiritual wellness and healthiness on so many different levels. You all just have to go back and watch some of those other videos. But today, like I said, is we're going to discuss the business chakra system and mental wellness. To give a quick um, description of what the business chakra system is. Of course, we have our personal chakra system. 2 weeks ago, I went into in depth on what that is. So I'm not going to go over that today. You need to go back and watch that video. But what the business chakra system is, it's similar in nature, but it focuses more on your professional or business related energy centers. The professional side of you as well as your business in itself. Because when you run a business, you're basically putting into that business everything that you are. So your business is just a reflection of yourself. And if you're not mentally and emotionally healthy yourself, then there's no way that your business is going to be mentally and emotionally healthy in order for it to be successful.
Right.
So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to let Allison go ahead and chime in with her thoughts about this particular topic.
I think it's very important for business owners to understand that you cannot separate, as Ruby has mentioned several times in other videos, you can't separate personal issues from business issues. Now, to some extent, you can't necessarily bring them into the office, so to speak, but you are still bringing that energy, you're still bringing that lack of energy, you're still bringing that into what you're wanting to be a profitable endeavor. And so I think it's very important that people start to really look inward, not just in personal aspects and not just on the aspect of personal relationships, but that you also begin to understand that, you know, it's very important that you are balanced so that you can be the best you, not just with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, but so you can be your best CEO, your best founder, your best, you know, dreamer who's actually putting something out there. You still have to be balanced to get optimization in that area also.
And there you have it. So, for us to go ahead and get into this particular topic, I'm just going to go over the parts of the business chakra system, which isn't, any different from the personal chakra system. It's just that the focus shifts from personal to professional.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the root chakra for personal is based or is associated with being grounded, you feeling safe and secure, you feeling like you belong here, your purpose. Um, Whereas for the business chakra system, it basically focuses on your business being grounded, your business having a reason to be here. What is the purpose of you having your business? And basically, is your business able to assist in your survival? I mean, what's the use of having a business if to some degree it's not going to assist in you being able to survive? Nobody starts a business just off of the sheer thought of wanting to own a business.
Mm-hmm.
You start a business because you want to make money, because you don't want to work anymore, or you just want to leave something to your children and generational wealth and stuff like that. But if you haven't firmly um, set the boundaries and built the foundation and whatnot for your business, then it has no choice but to crumble. And if physically, I mean, emotionally and mentally, you're not prepared for it, then guess what's going to happen? With the sacral chakra and your personal chakra system, of course, that's associated with sexuality, creativity, being able to feel pleasure, also being able to effectively manage your feelings and emotions. If you can't, of course, with owning a business, you have to be creative. If one thing doesn't work, you have to try something else. And if it doesn't necessarily work like it did for this person, you have to switch it up or basically adjust it to where it fits your particular business type or your business model.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you are not able to effectively manage your feelings and emotions, you can let go of that one thing or not even notice that one thing that's going to take your business to the next level because you're just simply in a bad mood that day and you just don't feel like talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work. You have to be able to find pleasure in running a business. Nobody starts a business just to be a slave to that particular business. I hope nobody is. But, that's just how the business chakra system works. For the solar plexus chakra in personal, that is focused on your willpower, your self confidence, your self esteem. And if you own a business, then your business is a brand. It's you. If you're not confident in yourself, you're not going to be confident in your brand. You're not going to be confident in your products and services. And if you're not, then nobody else is going to want to buy anything from you. They won't want to support you and they won't refer you to their friends and family. They'll just, disregard you like they did, like they disregard any other business that they don't feel is gonna be able to take care of them as needed. People, you already know it's hard out here for black owned businesses, and then sometimes we have to go that extra mile and take that extra step to stand out and to draw in customers and people that want to work with us. Come on now, you got to, make sure that's up to par as well. Your heart chakra, of course, in personal, it has to do with you being able to love other people, love yourself, be compassionate and whatnot. You have to be the same way as a business owner. Now, we know that as consumers, sometimes we may come up short and we really need something. And if this is, a business that we've supported or that we've patronized for so long, and if it just happens to be that one time we come up short, we would want them to be compassionate or be understanding to our situation to go ahead and work with us this time, and then maybe we can catch up on the back end. Or you can also relate it to customer service. People don't work with you simply because you just have an awesome product or service. They work with you because you're a people person. You're able to work with other people. Um, that not only refers to customers, but also vendors and suppliers, anybody that you've built a partnership with, um, pretty much anybody that you deal with in a business aspect, um, other than dealing with yourself. Um, Let me see. Thank you all for the likes and loves. I appreciate it. Hey Ruth, CG says interesting topic, chakra business. I've not heard of this. Where can I get more information on this topic? Actually, I haven't been able to find a lot of information about it, so I'm pretty much working right now. That's actually going to be one of the books in the Goddess Grind series that I have to write and get all of this information together because it's something that people really don't think about and talk about. And I don't even really think people think it's a thing, even though it is. So thank you for that question, CG. Um, the throat chakra. Y'all can't, Jesus, y'all can't even communicate effectively personally. Some of y'all just got a long way to go. But when it comes to your business chakra system, you have to know how to effectively communicate your thoughts and understand when people call you and say, "Well, hey, I had this particular problem, or this is what I need as a consumer from you being a business owner." If you can't fully understand what it is your customer needs, then there's no way you can provide them with what they need to solve their problem. And if you can't effectively communicate what you want to your supplier or to your vendor, then you're going to end up paying for a bunch of stuff that you really didn't want. And then you're going to, get an attitude with them because you're going to want them to have their business heart chakra in order and understand where you're coming from as a business owner. See how this works? You get that? Your third eye chakra. Of course, we know that the third eye chakra for personal is associated with following our intuition, decision making, being able to see the bigger picture, being able to see beyond today. Same thing for business. As a business owner, we know every day is not going to be an up day. But you have to understand that just because you didn't get any sales today does not dictate how it's going to be going on in the future. Just if you're not getting no sales today, work on some personal development. Work on your email list. Work on your CRM. Work on something that's gonna help you get better as opposed to just, soaking because you didn't get no sales today. Do you know how many days I've gone without getting a sale? I can't cry about that. The best thing that I can do is keep posting because I have to be consistent. I can't stop.
Right.
But, I can't let the fact that I didn't get a sale today, mess up me following my intuition. Because if somebody comes to me and say, well, hey, I want to work with you or I have this opportunity, then I have to be able to decipher what's for me and what's not. Discernment. You have discernment when it comes to business too, not just
Right.
personally. And then your crown chakra, of course, for your business, it really doesn't differ between personal and business because that's just your connection to the spiritual world and um, being able to separate your higher self from your lower self. But as far as ego, yes, that makes a big difference. Don't think just because for one week you out here balling out of control because everybody buying your stuff. Don't let your ego get you in trouble because just like you were on top today, you can be on the very bottom tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm just gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna let Allison go ahead and say what she has to say.
Nothing. I'm not. I'm not gonna try to go behind no chakra expert. I'm still sitting here learning and teaching, so I can put in my 2 cents as we start to break them down.
But see what? Because I know you are a business owner,
Yes.
and two, of course, congratulations on you making that transition from employee to entrepreneur. Because I know it's not
Oh
easy,
no.
but I want you to give like input from, what do you think? How do you think this topic is going to help you from that
I
particular
can do that.
aspect or
Okay,
from
that
that
I
point?
can do. Okay, so when you're looking at all the chakras, and I'll specifically start with the root chakra. With the root
Mm-hmm.
chakra, as Ruby mentioned, on the personal side, it's related to you feeling safe and secure. And if you don't feel safe and secure, then everything else is basically out of alignment. And so when she talked about the purpose of the root business, the business root chakra, the fact that does it have a purpose? Are you making money? I think that's one of the most important things that you have to think about, because I can just say in my experience, I evolved to wanting to become a business owner and to take this leap of faith and leave a job where I was almost making 6 figures, because I had a bigger why than my paycheck. And the
Mm-hmm.
bigger why for me was that I have a son. I decided to homeschool him. I wanted to be here for him to answer questions, do more than just, pass out worksheets. I wanted to be able to, be here if he had questions. I also wanted to give him the opportunity to see that there's an alternative to working really hard in school and working really hard in college and then going to work for someone else. I want him to experience having the option of going into business for himself. And he could actually start going into business for himself before he's of age. And so I
Right.
wanted to give him that opportunity. Now, of course, I do want to make money. We still live here on earth where money is important.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to go live in some Volkswagen van and just nomad my way through life. I do want to make money. But what's important to remember is If your why is not related to the money, then you'll be okay when the money isn't coming as quickly as you want it to come. If you're doing it because you want to make money, if you're doing it because you want to be able to buy a Bentley, if you're doing it because you just don't like other people telling you what to do, especially that one, your business is going to fail. Because at the end of the day, the only difference between you being the business owner and you working for a business owner is you have to start telling yourself what to do. So you're still not eliminating that. You still have to be disciplined. You still have to be able to, like Ruby said, if you don't have sales for a day or 2 days or 3 days, or in my case this week, I had 6 deals that I was working, and due to stupid stuff, I only ended up clearing 2. If your why is set up in the cash, you don't have a foundation that is going to be firm enough for you to withstand the low moments. And there's a lot of low moments at the beginning, and even as you make it, you can make it up to Apple level. Apple has down days, and the difference is if I have a down day, nobody knows but me. Now, if Apple has a down day, the stock owners know it, the stockholders know it,
Right.
CNN, MSN, MSNBC, everybody knows it. And so you have to make sure that root chakra is everything. You got to make sure that your why is not attached to your gross profit. It's got to be from within. So that's what I will add.
Yes. Hey Crummy, hey Tashari, and CG said if your root chakra is blocked, so is your money.
Come
Yes,
through.
ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And y'all, some of y'all here wondering why y'all ain't making no money. I have some tea, I drink it right now, but I don't. If I had some herbal tea, I drink it right now, but I don't.
What's going
So,
on, Morris? I see you chimed in.
yes.
Oh, and what's
So
up,
moving
Samuel?
on.
What's up, Tiffany? Okay, I'm
See,
done.
she can see y'all today. She can see y'all
I
today.
went and grabbed my phone so I can see everything now.
Yes. Okay, so on my paper, I wrote down quite a few things that I want to touch on today. But as Allison mentioned earlier, like I always say, you cannot separate your personal from your business because they stem from the same source. When you are angry, there are no two types of angry. You're not personal angry and you're not professional angry. You just learn to control one better than the other depending on where you are, but you're still angry. If you at home hungry, it's the same type of hungry when you are at work.
For real.
There is no difference. When you at home happy, it's the same type of happy you are when you at work.
That's right.
There is no difference. The only thing that's changing is what's around you, not what's within you. So when you are usually when your if your personal root chakra is out of balance, your business root chakra is out of balance.
Yes.
If your personal heart chakra is out of balance, the same thing for your business because one is just a reflection of the other. So pretty much just like if you're working to balance your root chakra, your personal root chakra, when you're saying your affirmations, instead of making your affirmations personal, relate your affirmations to your business. My business is grounded. My business is safe and secure. My business is sustainable. I can survive solely through running my business, or, whatever affirmations you choose to speak. But just make sure you speak them from a professional standpoint. Let's see. Allison already spoke on that one a little bit. Did you have anything else to say about that?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Hey, Pamela.
What's up, Red?
Okay. Now, also, owning a business does not exempt you from emotional and mental issues. I'm going to read that again. Owning a business or being an entrepreneur does not exempt you from emotional and mental issues.
Does not.
Hey, Red. Now, as a business owner, you're still going to have to learn to effectively manage your feelings and your emotions because you can't just be out here clapping and snapping on these people like you do in your personal life.
Right.
Because some people, might take their business just a little more seriously than they take their personal. And, they might, off and, slap you one good time because you're talking to them crazy about their money. People get sensitive and people act a lot different when you start messing with their money.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind.
Yes.
So you have to learn how to emotionally and mentally manage your feelings and emotions when you're in a professional atmosphere. Even if you just work at a job, if that's all you're doing is working at a job and you go to work acting crazy and then the manager start firing, sorry, somebody was calling me.
Oh.
um, you are still messing with other people's money. And people don't like that. So you need to learn how to effectively manage your feelings and emotions in professional and business atmospheres because uh well, you don't want to be like some of these celebrities out here that's getting blackballed, you know, from these different things because they don't know how to effectively manage their feelings and their emotions.
Right.
Now, you didn't went out here and got an attitude with somebody and then you get fired and then you trying to apply at these other places and you wondering why you're not getting hired.
Mm-hmm.
You know who other people know, so you need to learn how to effectively manage your feelings and emotions when it comes to your job, when it comes to owning a business. Because trust me, if you an entrepreneur, you own a business and you snap on the wrong person, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go and tell every single body that they know that you don't know how to talk to your customers, you don't know how to resolve problems, and guess what? People are not gonna work with you. So I'm just gonna leave that there and let Allison go ahead and chime in.
What I want to say is, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, if one of the reasons, some of the bad reasons that people decide they want to go into business, this is one of the biggest reasons that there are some companies that fail. And with us both being minority business entrepreneurs, I want to specifically speak to that market. Now, it does relate to all markets, but I specifically want to
Right.
speak to our market because 9 times out of 10, if we hear complaints about Black communities or Black business in communities, that is one of the bigger issues. It's related to customer service. Customer service comes down to how you talk to people, and how you talk to people comes down to how emotionally balanced and mature you are. So I have worked in
Right.
situations where I've been in jobs and I've heard people say, man, if I own this company, I would just go off on this customer right now. Well, if you own the company and you went off on that customer could also be bringing in 200 other customers. You don't know. A lot of times
Right.
you have more referrals than you realize. And unfortunately, some people don't realize how much of their business is based in referrals until they go off on the wrong person. Now, by no means am I saying that you're
Mhm.
supposed to take what's snatched at you or thrown at you. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is 5 minutes after that altercation is over, do you still want a business? Do you still want a positive referral on Yelp and Google and all of these other places? Do you still want people to open the door, come into your business and pay money, or go online to your store? That is where the emotional maturity is going to come in, because you have to understand you are going to have customers, plural, that piss you off. There are going to be people who don't
Mhm.
know how to act, don't know how to talk to you, and you'll have some who act like you are somehow lower than them because they're in to spend money and their mindset is that you want their money so they own you. You are going to deal with people like that. So be proactive. Don't wait until you run into that person. Get on YouTube, look up these motivational videos that you can make yourself watch first thing every morning, and start looking at
Mhm.
how to handle difficult customers, how to speak to difficult customers. Make sure that you are ready so that when that person comes, it's already ingrained on how to respond so that your business doesn't fail. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you got that emotional rush off of making sure that person knew that you weren't going to take their bad behavior, but they walk out
Mhm.
and get to walk into another business and still get what they want. you still need clients. So make sure that the clients you want are more important than the jerk that's in your face at the time.
You said that, girl. Oh, and Tasha Reed, thank you. I knew I missed a comment somewhere, but thank you, girl. I like my little hairdo. CG says for affirmations, well, I'm just gonna read
Ooh.
what I can see. Affirmation: I am grateful, thankful, and happy that I have a large, steady, dependable, permanent financial income now, every day, in every way. So she wrote some more.
I have
So
it
y'all might
here.
want to scroll through and look at them. Oh yeah, finish reading it
It
then, because I
says,
can't.
it says, I am growing more and more financially prosperous now, daily, and forevermore. That is awesome. I'm gonna screenshot this one and add it to my affirmations. And Red, Red, we're gonna talk about that one offline.
Yes.
Because I know the background, and
Um.
they probably deserved it.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I was about to say. Well, you know, if you can tell when it's needed and when it's not, and if you felt that it was needed.
It was, in that situation, it was needed. And what's up, LW?
Oh.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was needed.
Now, the next thing that I have on my list is you have to understand that as a business owner, an entrepreneur, if you're career driven, or even, you know, if you work a regular job, um, outside of personal, there's like a new set of mental and emotional issues that you have to deal with. Now, of course, if all you do is stay at home, if you're just a stay at home mom, then the only issues that you deal with are those related to being a stay at home mom. But as soon as you get a job, then okay, that's a new set of situations and circumstances that you have to learn to deal with effectively. When you become a business owner or an entrepreneur, then that's, you know, even more um situations and issues that you have to deal with, because if you're working a job and you know you're going to get that paycheck every 2 weeks, you're not worried about whether or not today or tomorrow you're going to bring in some money, because you know every 2 weeks you're going to get that check. But as a business owner, you can't not work for 2 days and expect money to come out of nowhere when you didn't put in any work. So you just have to understand that, you know, based on whatever your situation is, mentally and emotionally, you have to prepare yourself for that. And you really can't prepare yourself for it until some situations you're actually in. Because, you know, with going from being an employee to an entrepreneur, yeah, you think you ready, but then when you actually get into it and that first day you wake up like, wait a minute, hold on. I don't have to clock in today, so if I don't do nothing, then wait, hold on. You are now thrown or thrust into a completely different mental and emotional set of situations that you have to learn how to cope with effectively. Because if you don't, then guess what? You're going to get so emotionally and mentally unhealthy to the point that it's going to lead you to an emotional or mental illness. And then it's possible that you may find yourself back in that job that you worked so hard to get out of, because you just simply was not emotionally and mentally prepared for what was coming. So just make sure that, you know, you understand what you're getting into when you make these decisions or you decide to make these transitions. Now, I made the transition May 2016, and I know it's not easy, especially if I was mentally and emotionally and spiritually weak. I would not be doing this live video right now, because I would be at work because that's where I needed to be, because I just wouldn't be able to handle the everything that comes with being a full-time entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Now, Allison, she just recently made that transition, so I'm just gonna let her speak on that.
You know, the thing, what stuck out most with what you said is when you woke up that next morning. And so for those who didn't necessarily follow the journey, I was at a job that's going to be great for someone, but it wasn't a great fit for me. And so as a result, I spent 2 years with more emotional issues than I dealt with. I was sick more than I had ever been. And it was never anything serious, but it would be colds that would take longer than they should to go away. Or I would have headaches that I normally never get. Or I would snap at my son for absolutely no reason. And it was from the pressure of feeling like I had to stay there for the check. And so the first thing I learned was, you know, I now know why people tell you not to take a job for the money. I never applied for this job. I was recruited away. Someone saw my credentials on LinkedIn. They reached out. I decided to just interview to practice my interviewing skills if I needed them. And they ended up offering me so much more money than I was making at the time. I thought I'd be stupid not to take it. And so I took it. And I, along with that, I was able to work from home 3 days a week, which most people thought should have been enough. You're almost making six figures. You're at home 3 days a week. What is wrong with you? But that is just a sign that you're not necessarily dealing with people that don't get you, but they're just not on the level that you're on in terms of where you want your life to go. And so even though I prepared, even though I kept telling myself, 2018, we're going to do this. We can't let 2018 be the same as it was for 2016 and 2017. Even though I prepared for it, the morning I woke up, I acted like I had won the lottery, in the sense that I got up when I got up at 10 or 11. I hung out with my son just because I could. I was just like, oh, this is nice. And then I went to bed that night. I said, hold up. You not gonna make no money. Like, there's no check coming. Like, there's no check coming, Allison, if you don't go out and get it. And so I had to really put myself and say, hold on, don't act like you won the battle when you just started the first fight. You got to get,
girl, that part.
okay? And so the next morning, and that's when it hit me. I really am responsible now. Every bill that comes in this house, I don't have a check that I just have to sit somewhere for 40 hours a week, or in my case, 55 hours a week. I don't have to just sit there and just wait for the money to hit my direct deposit. I've got to go get the money to put in the direct deposit. And there is a fear that happens, but that's where you have to be balanced. If you're balanced, like we're talking about, if you know your reason. I reminded myself, because I found out the woman that I helped to hire as my replacement for my job, I found out she waited till the day before starting to not take the offer. And so she just out of the blue said, I don't want the job anymore. I'm sorry for the trouble. And so at that particular moment, I had been out here, you know, hitting the pavement and sending out messages and doing things like that, and nothing was materializing. And at that moment, I thought about seeing if I could just take the job back. For 2 hours, I sat at my computer trying to figure out, should I send an email? Should I send a text? What should I do? And I reminded myself of how horrible I was as an employee, because I didn't like the job. It wasn't a bad job, but I didn't want to do it. It didn't use any of my gifts, any of my skills or my talents. And I said, why would you want to go back to that? I know that, you know, you need money. I get that, but we can't panic now. We're out here. So we got to stick and stay. Now, if I want to go find something part-time, okay, cool. But you can't go out of hell, get out of hell, and then come up with reasons why hell is now okay. And so you just can't. It just can't happen. And so I said all that to say, you have to make sure that you are firmly grounded on a decision. My decision is to work for myself. It does mean that I may have to work longer, but I will tell you, after the week that I've had, it doesn't feel as hard, even though I'm working longer. It doesn't feel as hard as it did for me to try to pull out those 10 and 11-hour days. I can work literally all night. If people called me at midnight wanting to vote or wanting to set up an appointment, I do it because I have the passion for it. And more importantly, I have the passion and the pride in myself that I took this step. And it's exhilarating and it feels great. And I love that I'm here with my son for homeschooling. And I love that I'm able to go out and meet people and not worry about how to figure out how to do it on my lunch break real quick before I go back in. I love that I don't have to do that. And so that alone, and I start to see what I'm seeing now, why entrepreneurs work so long. It's not because they're all crazy. Now, some just need to learn how to sit down. But a lot of entrepreneurs who are doing it for the right reasons, they sincerely love what they do when it doesn't feel like work, which is why they're still so energized 10 to 12 hours later. So if
Right.
you are thinking about doing it, Ruby is almost celebrating her second year. Congratulations. She is almost celebrating her second
Ah!
year. I'm almost celebrating my second month. No, actually, my first month. No, yeah, almost my second month. And it is different. It is scary. It does not turn out the way that you plan. Even when you plan it and dot every I and cross
Right.
every T, it still doesn't happen like you plan it. But I am here telling you, she is almost 2 years in. I am almost 2 months in. It is worth it, but you got to stay balanced, and you can't have going backward as a plan B. That's all I
Right.
got.
And just to kind of piggyback off what she just said, when people, I mean, I know a lot of people don't make the transition because they feel like they are not prepared enough, or they need to prepare more, or preparation is always, you can plan, you can prepare, you can pray, you can do all this other kind of stuff. I mean, all these other things,
Mm-hmm.
and you will still never be truly ready for what you have to deal with. And I'm not saying it's bad. I love being at home.
Me too.
I get to see my mama every single day. I ain't got to worry about getting up. I save 15% by switching to entrepreneurship. I ain't got to pay for no gas. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta pay for no gas. You ain't gotta pay for no lunch. You can go downstairs and go in the kitchen to get you something to eat. You
Come
can
on.
snack throughout the day.
Yes.
You ain't, if you don't feel like look, for us women, some of us, we know some days when it's that time of month, we just do not feel like going into work. Guess what? You can lay in bed until you feel a little better, then get up and do what you got to do, still do your work. And
That's
you
right.
don't have to worry about dealing with other people. And they ain't got to worry about dealing with your attitude,
That's right.
because your cycle on the day
Mm-hmm.
and you moody.
Yep.
I'm just saying. Um, hey Bella, hey Catherine, hello Bernard. Just a quick recap. Allison and I, or update, Allison and I are discussing the business chakra system and mental wellness. And right now, we're just going over a few points of um, what the business chakra is and how it pretty much applies to or relates to mental and emotional wellness, as well as, a few other things, because a lot of people, for one, are not familiar with the personal chakra system, but even less are even aware that a business chakra system exists. So we are discussing that today. So definitely, if you have any questions, comments, you want to engage, please put them below. CG says, I sold cars for 12 years and I have only worked for 2 dealerships. I was top sales #1 for the entire 12 years. My determination was so easy and effortless that my chakras were cleared. I played and spoke mantras. Stones were a part of her daily routine, and my favorite was affirmations and feng shui. And I, I'm a really good manifester, and it pays off. Yes.
Yes.
If as long as you're in a career that you love, you're working a job that you love, or you're running a business that you love, then it's easier to be mentally and emotionally focused, and it's easier to manage those feelings because you're doing something that you enjoy. Whereas if you're doing something that you don't like, you work with people that you don't like, you're always getting up going somewhere that you don't like going, then you have a tendency to think and react, and instead of it building you up, it draws you down.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does it do it mentally and emotionally, it happens physically. Do you all know, every day when I was working customer service for said company, I'm not gonna put their name out there because I know millions and millions and millions of people work for them,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not even gonna be like, no. But anyway, it got to the point where every single day I was going to work, I would literally get a migraine.
Mm-hmm.
I kept one of them big thick boxes of goody powders
Mm-hmm.
in my purse, and I had to take one every day.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, the pain from the migraines was unbearable, because I had to look at a screen all day, talk to people I didn't want to talk to, and work with people that I didn't want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but taking those goody powders all the time, that is not good for your system. That is not something that's meant to be taken every single day.
Oh.
But that's something else you shouldn't do. Some of us, we don't get the opportunity to eat as healthy as we would like.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, and it's just the way you think about your job or your business or whatever dictates how you actually perform mentally, emotionally, and physically. I did not enjoy selling cars. I was outstanding with customers, people, children, etc. Well, there it is.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't enjoy the job, you got to the point because you knew that emotionally and mentally you had to do what you had to do. Some people, simply because they didn't like selling cars, they would probably go into work, get an attitude with all the customers, and not sell anything, and then complain because they wasn't selling nothing.
Yep.
That's one reason why it's important
Mm-hmm.
to understand how to balance your business chakras and how that can affect you mentally and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not balanced, a lot of people wouldn't even see that, CG. They would just go about it some other kind of way and then be mad.
Yep.
They just move on to the next job or whatever, taking that same toxic energy to the next job and then the next job and so on and so forth. Okay, what else is on my list? Another thing that we have to take into consideration with these jobs and owning these businesses and having these careers, our intimate relationships, marriages, and personal relationships play a huge role in how we mentally and emotionally deal with our business. We all know if you have somebody that's supporting you emotionally and mentally, and if they can financially support you and spiritually support your dreams and what you're working towards and what not, you thrive so much more than if you didn't have it. I mean, I'm not saying just go out here and get you somebody and hope they push you. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying when you have a balanced life and you understand that you have that support system, then it encourages you in a way that it doesn't if you don't have it. Now, trust me, I'm single right now, but trust, if I had a man that was out here just, doing his thing and supporting me and sharing my post and sending people my way and referring people, do you know how much easier that would be for me? I wouldn't have to do it so much. Not to say that I would do it any less, but just knowing somebody has your back and is in your corner to support you helps, especially when a lot of us out here complaining about how family members and the friends we thought was going to support us and not supporting us, and then you want to get mad and go off, oh well, we ain't cool no more because she didn't buy my bundles. I'm natural. I don't even wear weed. What you mad at me for? I don't buy no bundles. Man, it's just like, come on now. Our relationships do play a part in us being mentally well and emotionally well when we're running these businesses and working these jobs. Allison?
I'm going to jump all over this one. So the very first part that Ruby talked about, yes, here's the thing. Sometimes people make the mistake through heartbreak or frustration or whatever. They make the mistake of hiding behind their business, hiding behind going to school, hiding behind life as reasons why they can't connect to other people. And a lot of times you are missing out on finding someone who, here's the thing, everything that you need within you is within, but the right person, the right man or the right woman, they only elevate and illuminate what you already have. And both of those things can propel you. You end up, your confidence is magnified. Your ability to reach other people is magnified. Your energy is magnified. And just like Ruby said, we're both here. We're both single, and so we're both sitting here. We're doing the dang thing. Don't get us wrong, but we also know that once that person is brought into our lives, it's just going to take us that much further because we are all, if the universe just wanted us to only need ourselves, we would all be born in these little pods. That's what I tell people. We would be born in these little pods and we would get nourishment and all this other stuff from this little thing that we would connect to before we went to bed at night. We are around people because people always have something, the right people always have something that brings out the best in us. And hear what I said, bring out the best in us. They don't bring the best and then we figure out how to make it work. We already have it, and their
Right.
love, their security, their safety, their support, and their encouragement bring it out in us. So the other side of that is what I also want you guys to think about. You cannot start a business in an unsure relationship. You can't. You cannot begin a business and expect it to flourish when you are in a situation that is uh, breeded with hostility, frustration, uncertainty, inconsistency, hurt feelings, your needs not being met. You can't do that. And it's not necessarily because it's that person's fault, because that person has the right to feel how they feel at that time. But you have to
Mm,
understand that the way they feel and what they want to do and how it's affecting you is blocking chakras. It's affecting your creativity. It's affecting your confidence in yourself. How are you going to feel confident talking to a stranger if you're sleeping with somebody that never says that they love you or that they care about you or that they're glad they're in your life? You see where I'm going? If you're
mm-hmm.
intimately involved with someone who doesn't appreciate you or what you bring to the table, how are you going to possibly be able to get on the phone or send out an email to a random person? Because your mind is going to say that you're not worthy. They're going to just reject you because that's what you're continuing to connect to. So you don't want to hide behind your job or your business to avoid getting hurt. You want to use your discernment and your ability to walk away once you realize someone is not there for your best interest. But you also want to make
Right.
yourself available after you've taken time to heal. You want to make sure you're available for right to come in your life, because right, I'll just say it like this, I think right can double your monthly income. I do. I think right,
Oh.
I do believe that the right man or the right woman can double your monthly income. And I don't mean double it in terms of, okay, here's my check and here's your check. I mean double it in putting good into your system, good into your spirit, confidence, assuredness, encouragement. You can do this. You're the best at it. You're so smart. You're so talented. I know you can do this. I brought some people to you. That is what I'm talking about. That person wants to pour into you more than what they bring home every 2 weeks or every month. And so you want to make sure that you remain open to that, still do the best that you can do, but understand
Right.
that you don't have to close yourself off to good by making sure you don't run into bad. But if you are connected to bad, you need to understand that that is significantly affecting your bottom line. So you got to cut it so that you can move forward and enjoy the success in your business that you want.
Exactly. And also, just imagine if you're in a relationship that does not benefit you to any degree. You're getting verbally abused, physically abused, emotionally abused, spiritually abused. Do you know, or do you understand and realize how that's going to weigh you down, pull you down, and tear you down? And then you wondering why your business is not successful because you can't separate personal from professional. I keep telling y'all that.
And you can't.
Y'all gonna listen one of these days. Y'all can't leave that stuff at the door. You might not talk about it
Mm-hmm.
because you don't talk to people that you work with about your business, but emotionally and mentally, it's still gonna be there.
Yep.
CG said, "You are responsible for your happiness. No one can do that for you." Exactly.
Right.
You are absolutely responsible. And when you know that your happiness is not tied to another person,
Yep.
then you understand that those people that don't need to be there shouldn't be there. You
Exactly.
know who you know which people have will tear you down. It, like Allison said, is discernment. You're not when you're completely happy with yourself, then you don't allow others to come in and destroy what you've built. You don't let others come in and destroy what you put so much hard work into.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to deal with some mess. And unless this person that you choose to be with is going to be beneficial to you, or they're going to encourage you and they're going to support you, you're not going to allow them to be there. You shouldn't allow them to be there. Because if they're not supporting you personally, they definitely can't do it professionally.
Right.
Now, keep in mind we're talking about personal relationships. We're not talking about professional relationships. If you have, like, for example, if me and Allison working together, if it's beneficial for both of us, then we're good. We're not trying to be in a relationship. That's a completely different thing.
Right.
We're referring to personal relationships and your business or your career or the job that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know our time is getting close. I know we started quite late today, but that's okay because we still saying what we need to say.
Okay.
Um, Now, I did also put on my notes that, of course, people don't consider their feelings and emotions in business or professionally or anything like that until it starts affecting their money and affecting their pockets.
Right.
And some people, I mean, it's plenty of reasons why businesses fail, small businesses fail, but very few people even look at mental and emotional unhealthiness as a contributing factor to why businesses fail also. If you were more mentally strong and emotionally strong, then you can deal with those particular days when sales are not high, or those particular days when you deal with those customers that are just being that are just absolutely wrong, and you allow them to get under your skin, and now you got to take off the rest of the day because you just can't do it for this day or for that day. People don't look at that as things, like I said, that contribute to small businesses failing. You can't be a business owner, or you can't expect to move up in a company and be emotionally weak and mentally weak and spiritually weak. It doesn't work that way. Just like you can't be a leader if you're spiritually and emotionally weak. If as an individual, if you're not an emotionally strong parent, a mentally strong parent, then your kids will run over you. Other people will run over you. It works the same way in business. You cannot separate personal emotions from business emotions. It just doesn't work that way. And I think if people, like I said, people have to become familiar not only with the personal chakra system, but also their business chakra system because it exists.
Yeah.
If it didn't exist, I wouldn't be talking about it right now. Honestly, I wouldn't. Allison?
You know, the biggest thing for me is a couple of things that I've seen. I saw it happen one time back home in North Carolina, and then I've seen it once here in Dallas. And it was a situation where I went to a business and the hours stated that they should be open, but they weren't. And
Mm-hmm.
so I decided to give them another chance. I try to be pretty lenient with small businesses because you never know what could happen. I didn't know if a child had gotten sick and they had to rush off real quick to pick somebody up. I didn't know. So I decided to wait a couple of hours, did a couple of other errands both times, and I came back. And in both instances, they were situations where the person said that they just didn't feel it. They had a fight with their boyfriend the night before. Now this is two different states, several years past, and they both said they had a fight
Mm-hmm.
with their boyfriend and they got up this morning, or they just didn't feel like getting up. They were like, I was just sad and I was crying and I was blue and I wasn't feeling it. Now on one instance, some people could say, well, it was better to open up late than to come in and bring that negativity and lose customers. But I would say that this is one of those instances where you decide when to deal with it. You don't ignore it, but you decide when to deal
Mm-hmm.
with it. So what I would have done, and what I have done, not as an entrepreneur, because it's, when I've had my moments of being heartbroken, I was still an employee. I'd suck it up. When I was an
Mm-hmm.
employee, I was a corporate trainer by profession. And so I would sometimes have anywhere from 12 to 25 people that I got to be on for the next 8 hours. I couldn't just decide I didn't feel like training people on how to do their jobs. So I'd
Right.
suck it up. I may cry on the way to work and then the last 10 minutes get it together. And then I'd cry on the way home and get it together and take care of my son and put him to bed. And then I'd let it out before I went to bed. But I say that to say that we don't want you to try to eliminate your emotions, but you also have to understand that unfortunately, uh, you know, there's give and take. There's consequences to every decision you make. Consequences an
Right.
employee is, it doesn't matter how often or how hard you work, you're only going to get paid on the pay schedules that they've set up. On the other side, however, one of the consequences of being an entrepreneur, besides the fact that you have to go out and get your own money, is that you don't get to take a day off because you're sad. You don't. You have to decide when to deal with that sadness, but you can't take a whole day off. And so that's
Right.
where we talk about you having balance and having, it can go down up to scheduling. Just say, okay, from 10 to 11, this is normally when I meditate. I'm going to deal with these
Right.
emotions at 10 p.m. At 10 p.m., I'm not going to ignore them. I'm not going to bury them, but I can't deal with them right now. Right now, I've
Right.
got to be business me. But at 10 o'clock, when I get ready to light my candles, get to my altar, grab my stones, burn my incense, and turn on my music, I'm letting it all out. That's how you stay balanced
Let it all out.
without also affecting what else you have going on. You can't let it all out in front of a customer at 12 noon. You can't. You can't.
I do not suggest you do
You
that.
can't. You can't hear a
But
song. You can't. You just can't. Even if, and I'll just say this to those who listen to music. If you have music playing in your place of business, I've seen some people who break down when a song comes on the radio that reminds them of their ex. Change the damn channel. It's your business. So for that day, you may just have to listen to instrumental music, elevator music. You may have to listen to rock when you normally like R&B. You might have to listen to country. I know some of you hate it, but the fact that you hate it means you won't pay attention to it. But you got to do something to outlast when you can deal with those emotions. Crying because you hear a song that y'all first danced to at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Some people, now if I'm in there, if Ruby's in there, we'll probably walk up to you and try to talk to you. But other people who are not empaths and who are not healers are just gonna think you crazy. So I just want to put that little tidbit out there.
yes, and on that note, um, yes, there is a way to balance your business chakras just like you balance your personal chakras. Affirmations, meditation, listening to music, or whatever it is that works best for you or most effective for you. When the key to balancing your business chakras, of course, you want to be balanced, but at the same time, it helps you to catch yourself in those moments so you don't start crying.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you catch yourself in those moments to where when you start to feel something, then you know how to nip it in the bud right then so that it doesn't, you know, just start snowballing downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
And you balance your chakras, you understand, well, when balance your business chakras, you understand that even though I'm sad right now, I still have to think with clarity and understand that I still have to make decisions that are going to be beneficial for my business or beneficial for my career. Um, and you have to also balance your chakras because you realize that, well, you have to understand that you have to react to things differently. You can't continue to react to everything negatively because just because you didn't get sales today doesn't mean that tomorrow you won't get triple the sales.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that just because that day didn't particularly go like you wanted it doesn't mean that you need to have a meltdown. It doesn't mean that you need to go venting on Facebook. It doesn't mean that you just have to shut down your whole business for that day. It doesn't mean that you got to go to work and go off on every single person that breathes.
That's right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to learn to balance those chakras just like with your personal. It doesn't just because you're balancing your chakras doesn't mean that life is not going to happen. No, it's still going to happen. It's just that you understand the reason it's happening and you understand how to deal with it effectively. You understand how to deal with those feelings and those emotions effectively. And you understand how to react in a way that's not gonna basically in 15 minutes destroy something that you built in 15 years. So like I said, I'm working on my business chakra book, so you know everybody can understand exactly what it is because like CG said earlier, that's something that she really hasn't heard of, and she never knew existed. But just because we have feelings and emotions and everything, you have to know that whatever we do personally is going to affect us professionally. And actually, I think that's pretty much all that I have on my list. Now, trust me, I can think of a whole lot of other stuff that we can discuss and talk about and whatnot, and as it relates to this topic, but we don't have all day to do that. And I know we probably at that hour or a little bit over, but we really appreciate you all for tuning in and watching and sharing and commenting and liking and engaging in everything because like I said in the beginning, Allison and I, we like to talk about topics that most people don't consider and most people don't even talk about. And not only that, we like to talk about it from our level of understanding and thinking because we know most people think in a box. And that's not always the best thing to do. Sometimes, you just have to get input or get views from someone that has views different than the ones that you have. It doesn't mean that we're right. It doesn't mean that you're wrong, and vice versa. It's just that we like to bring things to your attention that you may not have thought about previously, and we like to make you think. Allison, you have any last remarks, honey?
The only thing that I have is to those who are starting businesses or are still thinking about doing it. If you're thinking about doing it, do it. Um, Even though we've talked about business chakras and how to balance those out, one thing that Ruby mentioned, I think about halfway through, was that it doesn't matter how much you plan or how much you think you have or need to have or whatever, you ultimately won't do it until you do it. And so I just encourage you, if you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you believe that you should be an entrepreneur, get out there and do it. Sometimes the best way to succeed is to just hit the ground running and not look for so many reasons why you have to have everything in place. Because as I mentioned, you can plan and it still won't work out. So just do it. But
Right.
beyond that, with us talking about business chakras today, we want you to know that your business can be as successful as you decide you want it to be. It doesn't come down to clients, it doesn't come down to money. It comes down to you being
Mm-hmm.
balanced, you aligning everything so that you can allow your creativity to flow, so that you can come up with the best ways to bring clients to you, so that your throat chakra is cleared and knows how to appreciate and thank those customers. But more importantly, that you
Right.
have your root chakra and everything else in place so that you know why you're in business, you know how to deal with your business, you know how to handle your rough moments, you know how to talk to people, you know how to discern
Right.
good business from bad business, because not all money is good money. All of those things combined are going to help you have the business that you desire, and the vision that you have here. You can manifest it, but you can't manifest it by ignoring you and thinking that you are not part of that equation, because you are.
You all of that equation. But hey, we hope you all enjoyed it for today with Soul Sunday. Um, of course, with me posting about doing one-on-one coaching as far as goddesspreneur coaching and stuff like that, this is what I refer to: balancing your personal chakra system, balancing your business chakra system, learning how to manifest once those things are balanced, and just understanding you completely in order to be the best version of you, in order to successfully create the best version of your business. You can't think you're really going to be successful when it comes to being a business owner or employee when you're not a successful individual. Um, Make sure, of course, me and Allison are here every Sunday. And oh, Allison, I left my list over there of what I wrote down some topics. I can't even think right now. I have to message you and tell you what the topic is,
Okay.
but y'all have to tune in and see what we're gonna be talking about next week.
Okay.
But of course, on the last Tuesday of this month, we have Happy, Healthy, and Healing with me, Allison, and Miss Tara Jackson. And y'all, I wish y'all could have been in our group message
Man,
to know what we were discussing, but
wow.
we gonna make sure y'all tune in.
Yes.
It's gonna be March 27th this month.
Hmm.
We probably gonna run over that little hour we got, but make sure y'all tune in because you definitely wanna listen to our topic and chime in. Y'all is like y'all say, it's gonna be lit. That's what it's gonna be. But of course, you can go online to buy the first two books of the Goddess Grind series at www.thegoddessgrind.com. If you missed any past episodes of Soul Sunday, you can follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search Ruby Davidson, and then all of the videos are there. Um, of course, I like doing speaking engagements about mental wellness, about chakras, about entrepreneurship. So if you're looking for a speaker, just reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at Ruby the Artistry, and my website www.thegoddessgrind.com. Allison.
What's up, guys? You can hit me up on Facebook. You can find me under Allison Denise. You can also link up with me on all of my various pages and groups. We have Be Still and Move, the page that focuses on information related to different types of non-physical domestic violence, such as narcissistic, mental, and emotional abuse. Our Be Still and Move group takes it a step closer or a step further, and we talk more about relationship issues, motivational, just how to have total life contentment regardless of your relationship status. We have a page for the HDL group, which is our 501c3. We are now taking donations for that nonprofit so we can get out here and start helping some of these women and men who need that assistance. We also have Allison Denise, the official page where you can book me for your next speaking or training event, and Rise Financial Education Group, another group that I've started that's going really, really well. And we're talking about personal finance in all of its various forms. And so Rise stands for Restore, Insure, Invest, Save, and Enjoy. You can check me right here on Sundays with Ruby. You can check me Monday through Friday, a bit beginning around 8:15, 8:30 for Facebook Live. You can join me on Fridays on the Facebook Fishbowl Radio Network in the Green Stream, as I'm a member of the Bad Squad, one of the newest and hottest radio shows, if I must say so myself. You can check us out there on
Yeah.
Fridays. And Be Still and Move Live is coming next month. Be Still and Move Live, the 1 hour podcast. Start the
Yay.
first Monday in April. I'm excited about that. It'll start at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be putting more information out starting this week. I think that's it.
After all of that,
All
yeah,
that.
yeah. Last thing that I want to say is I think I'm gonna launch it next month, but my and chill tea collection. When I say and chill, y'all know how we started the whole Netflix and chill, CHILL. Well, I think we've done enough chilling. We need to start doing some healing. So I've spelled chill CHEAL,
Yes.
and it'll be like I wore my first t-shirt, meditate and chill, which is basically meditate and heal.
Hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to sharing all of those teas for you, all of those designs. I'm actually going to start with the seven chakras, the different chakras. And I'm excited about it and I'm looking forward to it. So yay, me, go me. But that's enough of that. I know y'all tired of listening to, well, maybe y'all not tired of listening to me and Allison today, but I'm hungry. And I know Allison probably sleeping.
I know that's right.
And we just can't stay on here all day. Y'all know at some point Facebook gonna kick us off.
And they will.
But we look forward to seeing you all on next Sunday with the next episode of Soul Sunday. I'll post the what the topic is after I look at my list. I'm sorry, I don't have my list on me now, but I will release that information. We look forward to speaking with you all next week. I'm Ruby D and she's Allison Denise, and that's it. Peace.